Hi everybody, Alex Torin here for the Kent County Democratic Party. Today I am with former State Lottery Commissioner, prosecutor, and candidate for Secretary of State, Suzanna Shkreli. Suzanna, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you here. So, you're one of three candidates in this race. With your career experience, what positions you as the best candidate to win the general election in November?
Absolutely, thank you. Well, I've been a prosecutor for nearly a decade. I stood up and defended people. Half of that time, I prosecuted crimes against children, so I'm used to taking on the worst kind of threats, and I'm ready to take on a new kind of threat as Secretary of State. We see the constant undermining of our elections from the president, from people that are buying into the nonsense that he says every single day. Our elections are safe, secure. We have some of the most decentralized systems in the nation, which inherently makes us more secure. But more than that, I've been the lottery commissioner. I grew up in a family restaurant. My parents fled authoritarianism in search of a better life. I grew up working alongside my parents, so customer service is ingrained in who I am. I've taken those values with me every step of the way. And as the Michigan Lottery Commissioner, I'm the only candidate in this race that has state executive leadership experience. I oversaw a multi-billion-dollar agency with over 8 regional offices, 200 employees. I also served as deputy legal counsel to the governor, director of juvenile justice reform at DHHS, as well as the child advocate. But during my time as deputy legal counsel, I worked hand in hand with the Secretary of State's office and Michigan State Police. Imagine this in America, the Michigan State Police swarming a Capitol because we didn't know what threats we were going to get that day, right? And so it's really unthinkable and unimaginable that authoritarianism has taken root in our country. And in 2020, I pushed back against those fake electors, and we were able to secure the governor's constitutional obligation and deliver on those, on those presidential elections. So when people ask me what makes you the most qualified, I'm the best overall candidate, both from an statewide experience with emergency management, executive leadership, but as well as prosecutorial leadership. We need someone tough to push back against Trump where it matters most, which is both in the court of public opinion as well as in the court.
And on that note, that is something front of mind for a lot of voters, is what are our state executives and our state lawmakers going to do to push back against the current administration? We have seen the president and his administration request records from the state, from the Secretary of State. What would you do to push back against Trump if you were elected?
Well, it's important that as your next Secretary of State, that I am ready from a legal preparedness position as well as emergency management, and I have those skills from a statewide perspective. I spent so many nights at the State Emergency Operations Center alongside the governor and dealing and working with local emergency response teams, and so making sure that we're not being caught flat-footed. What I want to do day one is appoint a voter protection advisory council composed of legal experts and voting rights activists and experts from across Michigan to be ready for election day, and not just waiting until election day, but what motions are we filing before election day? What clear legal authority are we pushing forward to make sure that there's no question about what the president can and can't do? And if you do go against the law, then we're ready for contingency plan A, B, C, D. That's things I've done in my career, and I'm ready to do it again at a statewide level to protect our Constitution and our voice and our vote.
On that deadline to maintain membership from the Michigan Democratic Party is coming up. What do Michiganders have to do to support you at the convention?
Sure. So would love to have your support. I'm super excited to be in this race. I do want to mention, too, when I launched my campaign, we raised over $300,000, no corporate PAC money, no utility money, and I signed the LCD pledge because we got to get dark money out of politics. And if you want to come and support my candidacy, which I would love to have you, it's going to be so much fun. We're going to have a party. We're going to have food. It's going to be great. You got to go to votesuzannashkreli.com. There's 9 days left to register. Register with the Michigan Democratic Party. It's free. It only takes a minute. And then you can also commit to vote for me on that website, and we'll reach out and we'll get you down there.
Suzanna, thank you.
Thank you.